Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host Chump Change. This is live and recorded. For those of you that might be new here, we typically do is go over crypto news or news in general in the space. I update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. Let's see who's in the house and we'll get into this. Mr. Chuck Danger, good to see you, buddy. We got Dan R in the house. Perfect. Andrew Masad, Crypto Frank, my man, good to see you. K-Hashaholic, good to see you. 10 minutes to midnight, Steven Cicero, Peepaw Bill, good morning, sir. Daddy Chill, Savage White. Everybody else I may have missed, I apologize, but we're starting really late today. Bitcoin over 100,392 to be exact. We got Ethereum at $3,921. Solana 226 bucks. XRP at $2.38. HBAR looks like it's up about 10% today, almost 32 cents. Nice, looks pretty good. BNB 719 bucks. ADA $1.11. Nice. Caspa 16 cents, down 5% today, a little over 16.1 to be exact. Let's see, Near Protocol is just under $7 at 694. ETC is at 34 bucks, looking pretty good. Everything, I mean, even though it's things in the red, it's still perfect looking market. Dogecoin 40 cents, a little over 40 and a half. Toncoin up not much, but $6.42. Nice. XMR, damn, I almost bought XMR yesterday. I guess it's up only 5%, but 206 bucks. Is anybody into XMR? Let me know in the chat. Interested to know if you guys are buying that one. And this one, what's this? Virtual, damn, almost 20% up on the day. $2.29. Interesting. Caspa just does not move. Shark Farmer, you're not wrong lately. It has not moved. There's a lot of people losing confidence in Caspa, to be honest, but it's kind of like for me, it's like back in the day when people didn't believe in Bitcoin, right? It's gonna take time, so we'll see how it goes. But no, I think Caspa's gonna do just fine long term. It's a very good layer 1 technology. It's not gonna go anywhere. Virtual over here, 19.9% I mean, yeah, up on the day. $2.29, looking really good. HBAR is in second place, 11% up. Again, that's Hedera. Yeah, nothing else really jumping out at me. I guess Move 8.7% down today, 62 cents if anybody's into that one. But yeah, that's it. All right, flashbang Fear and Greed index looking like a 76 over here. Bruh. Extreme greed still. We're over 75. This is when I start, like, you know, watching this, but I mean, this is very low, just over 75. We're I think we'll be fine throughout the next week or so. I guess we'll have to see, though, you know, just again, keep an eye on all things. If things start to drop, then I don't know, don't panic sell. That's all I could say. Just hold on for the ride. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko, starting with Bitcoin at a $1.98 trillion market cap. We have Ethereum, Tether, XRP, Solana, BNB, Dogecoin, USDC, Cardano, and Lido staked Ether in 10th place at a $38 billion market cap. Looking pretty good. All right, I'm not gonna hang around this too long because I have a lot of things I want to watch. Well, not too many, but a couple of videos. All right, moving on. Mining. See what we got real quick over here. Basic miner value. You guys know I like to timestamp this stuff, see what we're making per day. Bitmain Antminer L9. Let me refresh this actually. Is that right? Oh no, we're at 28 cents. I was messing with it yesterday. I knew that wasn't right. I knew that didn't look right. Let's see. All right, 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Over here, AlphaPex DG Hydro 1 20 gigahash unit. Again, script mining, Litecoin and Doge, $54 a day. We got the L9 17 gigahashes making 50 bucks a day. That's amazing. The L9 16 gigahash unit making 47.14, looks amazing. The AL1 Pro 16.6 terahash unit is making $41.06 a day. Looks pretty good. Scrolling down, let's see, Bitmain Antminer AL1 15.6 terahash unit, $38.57. We got the AL3 from Ice River, 36 bucks a day, 15 terahash unit. The L7, you guys know I got mine down at Terra Hosting. Shout out to them. If you're interested in hosting or any ASICs to purchase, check out the link in the description. In the description or in the live pinned comment in the live chat. My 9050 is making 23 bucks a day. Hell yeah. Paying 10 cents per kilowatt hour down there. Not too bad. Amazing for a 3-year-old machine. It really is. All right, let's see. Let me check out the Gold Shell EDG1M. Yeah, this is I gotta plug this in today actually in my garage. 3.4 gigahashes, 1800 watts. making $7.41 a day. Pretty good, pretty good. That's at 10 cents per kilowatt hour though, so that's, I'll be making more than that on solar, and obviously less than that plugging it into my house. So we got to see what happens there, but I got to get a couple machines out there because it's getting chilly in that garage. Yeah, use code CCXD when you buy 800k of miners next time. I'm so shocked that Panda freaking posted that. That's so funny. So funny that he posted it, because I'm gonna be real, if I was that guy that just spent $800,000 on ASICs, and I saw that I just gave this mofo 12 grand for no reason, I'd be like, what the fuck? I'd be so mad. It's funny. I don't know, whatever, is what it is. Transparency is key, right? It's kind of how it goes, I guess. The Gold Shell Mini Doge 3 Plus 810 mega hashes over here, making $1.59 a day. Man, like, I wish these things, it blows my mind they can't get the wattage down on these units, like on these little box miners. Like, make them more efficient. They need to be more efficient, and then people will buy them up like no problem. You know what I mean? I'd buy a shit ton of home miners if they were friggin' more efficient. All right, moving on. GPUs, let's see. Looks like a Leo, top of the charts. TLS, what is this? This is Telestai, yeah, Telestai, however the hell, this is such a stupid name. I'm sorry, it's fucking dumb. You just, like, why put AI at the end if you don't want people to say AI? It's Telestai. It's, I don't know, that's how you're supposed to say it, but it's, I don't know, it's annoying. Aleo, Telestai, Meowcoin on the 170HX, interesting. Looks like Telestai is taking the top of the charts here though. TLS, no. How do you spell it? How do you spell it? Where am I at? Nope, not that one. TLE, that's why. I'm like, what the hell? Oh boy. TELE. It's not on CoinGecko? God. All right, well, it's not there. It is what it is. All right, I'm done with this new stuff. Let's get into it. All right, crypto is just a new asset class people don't have exposure to. Let's see what they got to say over here. CNBC television about 13 hours ago. Then we're gonna get into a couple videos.
Could be a big year for both Bitcoin and stablecoins. He launched the first Bitcoin fund back in 2013. He's here on set with us. Pantera Capital founder and managing partner Dan Moorhead. Dan, great to see you again.
Good to see you.
So this is a great year for crypto. Next year is going to be even better. Yeah. And on what? Because a lot of this year feels like pull forward of the expectation that something will happen in the regulatory environment that will be very beneficial for Bitcoin and crypto in general, and we don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, the uncertainty. We're holding investors back, and I think over 2025 you're going to get much more clear regulations, and that'll allow institutions to come into the space. And presently, most institutions really have almost zero exposure to blockchain, so once they start engaging in the space, it should do well.
So this fund that you run is an institutional fund, correct?
Yeah.
So what kind of conversations are you having now to segue into that time when institutions can actually allocate money?
Oh, it's really changed since the election. Last summer when the markets were very low and we had very little interest. And since the election, so many people are trying to figure out how to get exposure to the space.
When you hear a Microsoft, I think Michael Saylor just pitched the whole Bitcoin strategy of MicroStrategies to Microsoft. They passed. I think they might have passed in a prior lifetime, but they passed recently. Thoughts on that?
The only tech company that doesn't like tech. Famous words, Crypto KJ. It's very true though. It's so stupid. Why wouldn't they want to put Bitcoin in their balance sheet? It makes no sense.
That, you know, he is obviously pushing that, but a lot of people are sort of backing away. I mean, is there another company that's to come in to sort of galvanize what Michael's done?
He's done a great job, raising awareness, but probably most big corporations are not going to have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, just like they don't have yen or bonds or, gold or whatever. But big institutions, insurance companies, pension plans, endowments, they're the ones that are going to come in and really push this market up.
So what's preventing them right now, those big institutions? I mean, for some of them, I think there seems to be nothing preventing them. But what are some of the regulations that would be lifted that would allow that to happen? Well,
it's been very unclear what is a security and what is not a security. The regulators in the U.S. are pursuing lawsuits against some of the bigger companies in the space, and so that gives institutions pause. If that gets cleared up, you could imagine institutions wanting to get access to a new asset class. This is very similar to commodities in the 80s or emerging markets in the 90s or mortgages in the 70s and 80s. It's just a new asset class. Most people don't have exposure to it yet.
Dan, people keep talking about regulation or more clarity and the like here, how much of this move do you think has to do with, and Trump had been saying this on the campaign trail, the idea of some sort of Bitcoin reserve for the country? And, is that a big part of this? Or obviously there's a lot of moving parts here. What are you most excited about? What could come out of this other than regulation?
I think that is actually a really important thing. When you're the reserve currency of the world, you don't have somebody else's currency to save in. So the United States doesn't have another currency. It stores $600 billion in gold, which is a staggering amount. It's equivalent to 11 million years of American worker wages. So that's kind of crazy.
11 million years of American worker wages. What the fuck?
Go to digital gold. Bitcoin, it's much better. And so I do think it's totally rational. The U.S. already owns 1% of the world's Bitcoins. Keep that, increase that. So I do think it is actually a really good policy. There's a couple countries that already do own Bitcoin. It'd be great for the U.S. to get out in the lead.
How do you manage the portfolio in terms of, you have outsized positions now just because of the run. And so where are you trimming, or where have you trimmed, and what are some of the more undervalued cryptos out there?
Yeah, so the fun bit about cryptos, we've been doing this for 11 years, and Bitcoin's almost gone a little bit more than doubled this year. And so everyone's talking about, isn't that wild, it doubled? On average, it's done that for 11 years in a row, right? So crypto going up double is not remarkable, actually. And so we're normally long because we think the markets are going to go up, another huge amount, like another order of magnitude possibly. So we're typically long. We're always just looking at which other tokens are interesting. We have a big position in TON, Telegram's token, Solana, Ondo. Those are some of ours.
TON, Telegram's tokens. Anybody into TON still? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Telegram. It's just me. All right, CNBC Crypto World. Let's do it.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Crypto markets in the green for a second day after economic data showed inflation ticking higher. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin crossed above $101,000, Ether traded at $39.36, and Solana inched higher to $230. Now, yesterday, Tom Lee of Fundstrat joined CNBC's closing bell to share his 2025 Bitcoin price target. He's long been a proponent of the asset and remains optimistic on its trajectory in the near term.
We think it's going to follow a similar halving cycle that we've seen in the past that would imply something around $250,000 for Bitcoin in 2025. And on top of that, we have a Trump put because Bitcoin is potentially a strategic reserve asset for the U.S. government.
He's usually on point, too. Can you imagine if we actually did get a $250,000 Bitcoin at the end of next year? That'd be insane.
All right, let's talk about the top stories. President-elect Trump yet again touted his pro-crypto stance, this time in a conversation with CNBC after ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. Jim Cramer asked specifically about his embrace of crypto, and Trump emphasized his desire to keep the U.S. competitive in the space.
We're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else, not just China, but others are embracing it, and we want to be the head.
Since his electoral victory, Trump's transition team has tapped people championed by the crypto industry to lead various agencies, including Scott Bessent for Treasury Secretary, Paul Atkins for SEC Chair, and David Sachs for a White House crypto and AI czar. Next, shares of Riot Platforms jumping this morning after the Wall Street Journal reported activist investor Starboard Value has taken a significant undisclosed position in the Bitcoin miner. The Journal said Starboard is pushing for the company to convert some of its Bitcoin mining facilities into space for big data center users.
Look at that. Look at this building, dude. How long is that? These are like, what are these? Are these dumpsters? Is that a truck? What is this down here? Is it like a lull? Dude, look how tiny that thing looks. Those things are fucking giant. That's insane.
The investment comes as pure play mining stocks have faced pressure this year as Bitcoin ETFs, launched in January, gave investors a new way to get exposure to Bitcoin. On top of that, rewards for mining got slashed following the halving in April. And in light of all this, other miners like Iren, Core Scientific, and TeraWulf made pivots to AI and outperformed. As of noon Eastern, shares of Riot popped about 10%, although it's still down more than 16.5% for the year. All right, we have some news out of Texas for our main story. Just today, lawmakers there introduced a bill to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. The proposal would let the state build that reserve by accepting taxes, fees, and donations in Bitcoin, and those holdings would have to be kept for a minimum of 5 years. If passed, Texas could prove to be a testing ground for a reserve at the federal level managed by the U.S. Treasury. I spoke to Dennis Porter, CEO of the Satoshi Action Fund, about the bill, the likelihood it'll pass, and what it means for the U.S. Well, Dennis Porter, thank you so much for joining us on Crypto World today. The Texas legislature introducing a bill today that would establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. You have been working with the lawmaker on this proposed legislation. Tell us a little bit about what's in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for having me on. We have been honored to be able to work with Chairman Capriglione on this legislation. It is a bill that is the first of its kind for the state of Texas. It is the second bill ever in U.S. history to be introduced at the state level to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. We were able to be the first to do that in Pennsylvania as well. And we're just extremely excited about this opportunity to put Texas as a leader on Bitcoin once again. It has been a leader for some time, and it will be again with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And the legislation essentially allows for the establishment of a strategic reserve for Bitcoin and allows for donations, taxes, and fees to be paid in Bitcoin and other forms of cryptocurrency. And then, of course, other forms of cryptocurrency will be converted to Bitcoin and placed into the strategic Bitcoin reserve.
Tell me a little bit more about the way the funds are moving into the reserve. So taxes, donations, and fees. I mean, I think that's really interesting just because of the high concentration of miners that are hosted by the state. Is it likely that we will see, you know, whether it's individuals or some of these major mining companies themselves opt in to be paying their taxes in Bitcoin?
Absolutely. I think there will actually be a rush of Bitcoin mining companies who will want to pay their taxes in Bitcoin just purely to show that they support this new establishment of the strategic Bitcoin reserve. A lot of the Bitcoin miners that we speak to, some of the largest Bitcoin miners in the world, in fact, have endorsed strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation and are advocating for it, not only at the state level, but at the federal level as well. So we are certain to see those Bitcoin miners want to be the first to pay their taxes in Bitcoin because they support the strategic Bitcoin reserve in Texas. But also, I believe there's going to be a number of Bitcoin companies and Bitcoin individuals that are Texans that will want to donate to the strategic reserve as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not going to use my Bitcoin for taxes. I would just pay in dirty fiat. But the big companies he's talking about that they have to sell to get the fiat to make, you know, everything make sense. It makes sense on that end. But like the small time guy, no, I would just hold your Bitcoin, please.
Are there any arguments against doing that? I mean, it's an ever-changing market and landscape, and there are so many questions around filing taxes in crypto and tax implications in crypto. I mean, does that not assume that people paying their taxes in Bitcoin will have to pay taxes on their taxes, if that makes sense?
Yeah, certainly. That is a great question. I think what would happen most likely is that the taxes that are paid in Bitcoin by some of these companies are the Bitcoin that they just received. So they're not going to spend the Bitcoin that they've been holding for the last 4 or 5 years, which has significant capital gains implications. They'll likely just use the Bitcoin, which was just coming in, which hasn't had any appreciation, so that they can pay those taxes. And they may also use some of the Bitcoin that has gone down in value since they mined it to also capture those losses as well.
Wait a minute. What? He just said that they've held the Bitcoin for a couple of years and had significant capital gains. You don't have to pay capital gains if you hold it over 365 days. I think you have to hold it for like 366, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the chat. Also, if you guys are interested in a Coinly like tax thing for your crypto, I just put my link in the chat. That's the software I use to do all my crypto taxes.
Talk to me about Bitcoin buying strategies. So, you know, it's not a piece of legislation that I believe outlines, you know, a planned buying schedule of a certain amount. I think you said at the top that the Bitcoin would have to be held for a minimum of 5 years.
Yeah, so you pay long-term to capital gains, not short-term. So it's just the way you said it was weird.
Through the taxes, donations, and fees. What have your conversations been like with the lawmaker? And is there anything that has come up that has sort of deterred him from, in this initial proposal at least, wanting to buy Bitcoin directly?
Yes, certainly we want states to buy Bitcoin directly or to find other avenues that they can add Bitcoin to their reserves. But for the state of Texas, you know, it's a very big state, and getting this type of legislation, which is really, I mean, it's cutting edge legislation, to get it across the finish line, we believe at Satoshi Action that it is critical to establish the reserve, enable taxes and donations to be paid in Bitcoin, and then come back for the other half later. The other half being, let's get actual purchases of Bitcoin being made and added to the reserve. This is the strategy that we're pursuing across the country. We have over 10 states now that are going to be introducing this legislation, and also multiple countries have reached out to us as well, asking us to help them introduce and pass strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation into law. And so our goal will be to first start with what's achievable, establish the reserve, allow them to put taxes and donations into it, and then come back the following legislative cycles to establish more legislation that'll enable these states to purchase Bitcoin directly.
Pretty awesome. All right, I'm going to kill him here because I have few videos I want to watch. So let's get into this. Mr. Lark Davis just posted this about an hour ago. So there's truly not enough Bitcoin. I guess there's also some news that BlackRock's been holding or suppressing the price of Bitcoin. Let's see what he's got to say over here.
There is truly not enough Bitcoin out there. When you start seeing the big picture, when you see what I'm seeing in the market right now, you realize, like, holy crap, this thing's really going to cook, isn't it? Oh yeah, we got the latest on Bitcoin, the latest on Ethereum. Trump's buying more altcoins. Gonna be a spicy one. Let's go ahead and get into it. So first and foremost, Texas. What up? Texas State Rep Giovanni Capriglione, nailed it, officially files for a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the state of Texas. Now, the Bitcoin magazine guys, they said that they've got like 10 states lined up. Now, Pennsylvania, they already came out and said, yeah, we're looking at it, right? So now Texas is confirmed. They're looking at it. So we got another, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states to go? Geez, Louise, man. So not only is the United States federal government going to start buying Bitcoin, allegedly, when Trump does all this stuff, right? But the states are literally going to start front running and buying in advance. Now that's insane. Now, okay, sure, every state's not going to buy hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, but you know what? If each state in the country buys 10,000 Bitcoin, it's not even that much money. It's a pretty big number, man. It's a lot of Bitcoin right there, guys. Okay? Great. I love to see it. Now, look, a lot of states won't, of course, but the states that do, just going to keep cementing winning. Look at this. Texas, man, winning. Hashtag winning, man. Love it. That's insane. Literally, you have states buying Bitcoin. You have countries buying Bitcoin. You have major corporations buying Bitcoin, public companies buying Bitcoin, Wall Street aping into unbelievable degrees right now. Look at this. Wall Street bought another $600 million of Bitcoin yesterday. That brings the total weekly purchases just from Wall Street up to like $1.7 billion, just back in napkin math. That's crazy, man.
Jesus.
Holy shit. Week's not even finished.
That is
They're buying at 100K. They just bought $600 million of Bitcoin at 100K Bitcoin.
God damn.
Come on, man. Come on.
The price barely moved. Exactly.
Now look at this. Look at this, man. Holy shit. Japan talking about a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Yeah, come on, guys. Come on. The game theory's spreading. Member of Parliament Satoshi Hamada just proposed a good name, by the way, dog. Just proposed the concept calling BTC a potential national asset. Now, look, there's been no...
The guy looks like he just rubbed his head with a balloon.
Bill introduced. To be clear, this guy has not introduced a bill. Will he introduce a bill? Let's see. Will that bill pass? Let's see. The fact that countries all over the world are starting to talk about a Bitcoin strategic reserve for their countries is insane. Okay, we now have confirmation that, of course, the United States is looking at a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Brazil is looking at a Bitcoin strategic reserve. We have pension funds all over the world investing in Bitcoin. We have Japan now talking about a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Gosh, I swear there was another country the other day. There's so many. Can't even keep track of it anymore. It's insane. Oman, the UAE, they're mining. Okay, El Salvador, Ethiopia, Bhutan, they're mining Bitcoin. Come on, man. This is the big game. It's finally here. Now, again, we will overestimate the impact of all this shit in the next year. And we're going to dramatically underestimate the impact of all this shit in the next 5 years. By 2030, if you can just hold on to your Bitcoin till 2030, I'm telling you guys, $1 million Bitcoin is not a fantasy. It's coming. President-elect Trump on crypto and AI, we're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else to. Yes. Finally, somebody in America gets it. Now, no shade on the Chinese, obviously, but like this should have been the idea in America from day one. Like we should be the ones most promoting cryptocurrency because like the internet, we want to have all the big companies here so we make money.
Facts.
It's just business sense. It's so dumb to be anti-crypto. Great. He says we're also going to be ahead on AI. Yeah, he was ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange. Great stuff. Bitcoin Archive sharing this great chart. He says, hear me out. 609 days back in 2015-16. And then, boom, look at that. Mega move. Are we looking at a similar situation now? We're going to have an epic run. I think so. I think we're giving up for an epic run. Something always derail that. World War III can happen or something. No one's going to give a shit about our crypto coins then. But as long as that doesn't happen, man, we're ready. We're Gucci.
As long as nothing crazy happens. You guys hear about them drones that are flying over Jersey? Or whatever the hell's going on over there? Isn't that where like Trump stays most of the time? As long as nothing happens to friggin' Trump before he gets in office, I think we'll be all right.
Gee, baby, let's go. Bitcoin, of course, on the daily, still not doing a whole heck of a lot. Uptrend still intact, grinding here around 100K. MACD still in the downtrend on the daily. So after the big move, basically price consolidating around 100K. We'll check back in a few days, see how it keeps going. Short-term price action noise is fun to talk about, but it's just short-term stuff. If you look here at the weekly for Bitcoin, paints a pretty different picture, doesn't it? Look at that. MACD still in a solid uptrend. Okay. Bitcoin. Look at the weekly candles, guys. Look at this. This is insane.
Like
there have been epic sell-offs, and every single time it is gobbled up like that. Those are epic weekly candles. Huge demand anytime price dips. Crazy. Hey, if you're a cryptocurrency trader, get
Nope.
Let's talk about Ethereum. Ethereum also, again, still getting bid from Wall Street, which is amazing to see. $270 million yesterday. Now that brings the total
naked together in a float tank. The ad on the bottom of the screen
for the week, not quite to $1 billion, but gosh darn, we're getting close, like 850 or something like that. That's a lot of money. That's an epic week for Ethereum ETFs, going from basically zero on launch to now we have $2.2 billion in total inflows. ETH's heating up. Wall Street's buying. Okay. Meanwhile, Ethereum on the verge of putting in a big fat breakout here. Look at the weekly chart here. Look at that. Look at that crazy weekly chart, man. Just nuts. Huge breakout. Smash right back down to retest that support line and then right back up over this orange line, which is, of course, the very, very important multi-year downtrend line. Price currently trading just above that. Very interesting. Weekly MACD on an uptrend. Okay.
I still think we can get to 5 to 7 at least. You know, some people are saying $10,000 Ethereum, but we're going to have to see.
Chainlink having a big breakout as some very interesting things start happening here with Chainlink. Apparently, the Don, he is buying Chainlink.
Chainlink's been doing good.
Crazy stuff, man. Donald Trump's World Liberty Financial. By the way, I'm an ambassador, marketing ambassador with those guys. If you ever want to see my portfolio disclosures, coins I currently hold, OTC deals, venture rounds, ambassadorships, any of that kind of stuff, okay, it's all down below in the description. Link on YouTube, pin comment over.
All right, we're gonna kill this one. Gonna go on to the next one. All right, the Bitcoin Santa rally is coming to town. Shout out to Lark Davis for that previous video. This is Swan Bitcoin. This posted about 15 hours ago. Let's do it.
The Bitcoin price makes confident moves above 100K today, as BlackRock gives us permission to pump to finish out the year by officially recommending a 2% allocation of Bitcoin to their customer base, who holds over $10 trillion in assets. We do the math on where that could theoretically take the price, and it's wild. We also take a look at some data that once again suggests we are still early in this cycle. Plus, Tom Lee makes a measured prediction of $250,000 Bitcoin in 2025. And Trump adds more fuel to the strategic reserve fire. The Bitcoin Santa rally is coming to town. Have you been good this year?
Of course. View.
The Bitcoin price has begun moving more confidently above 100K over the last few days, sparking hope that the famed Santa rally is upon us. And leading the way is good old St. Larry, as BlackRock put out an official recommendation of a 2% allocation of Bitcoin to their over $10 trillion customer base. So what could this 2% allocation mean for the Bitcoin price? More on that later. But first, to give you an idea of what the Santa rally can do, at this time 4 years ago, the Bitcoin price bounced around the $18,000 level for the first half of December of 2020. By Christmas of 2020, the price climbed to 25K, and it ended up closing the year around 29K. Now, obviously, past performance isn't necessarily indicative of future performance, but there are several metrics that lead me to believe we are still quite early in this Bitcoin bull cycle. One metric, which we talked about earlier this week, is the MVRV ratio, which this chart shows in the orange next to the Bitcoin price in black. Historically, at cycle tops, Bitcoin's MVRV ratio reaches the red band at the top. As you can see at today's prices, we're not even halfway there yet. The Bitcoin price still needs to more than double from here to start to look like we're nearing a top. There's also this halving progress chart from the Rational Root, which shows us where we are today at about 16% through the current halving cycle, which is roughly every 4 years, compared to previous cycles at the same point. As you can see, the majority of the price moves upward occur in the months following the orange band on the chart. So it looks like we haven't even seen the fireworks yet. And Tom Lee from Fundstrat agrees. Here he is on CNBC yesterday with his 2025 prediction for Bitcoin.
Tom, it just brings me back to you, the idea that how much of what we're seeing, maybe even a little bit today, is there's been such a regulatory overhang on a lot of these names. Under the current administration, now you have a new FTC chairperson. Is that playing a role in any respect to this? Because Dan Ives put out a note today, said Christmas comes early with the new head of the FTC for tech.
It's probably the best way to sort of measure this is what Bitcoin's doing, because Bitcoin faced enormous regulatory burdens over the last few years, and now we have a White House that's embracing digital assets, a new SEC chairman, FTC chairman, a new Commerce secretary. I think these are actually being viewed as pro-business, reviving animal spirits, but I think a good proxy is watching Bitcoin.
All right, now I'm going to have to pin you to a target again on Bitcoin, because, I mean, you've been among the most optimistic and outspoken about it for years, to be quite honest. So here we are, above 100,000. What's a legit target for 2025 for Bitcoin?
We think it's going to follow a similar halving cycle that we've seen in the past that would imply something around 250,000 for Bitcoin in 2025. And on top of that, we have a Trump put because Bitcoin is potentially a strategic reserve asset for the U.S. government.
So Tom Lee's 250K in 2025 aligns very well with the charts we looked at earlier and is not an...
Real quick, just like if you guys are really going to anticipate that, or you guys see it actually getting over 150, closer to 200, like think about taking profits in between that area. Even if it does go to 250, like you still won. All right, take your money and run, like please, because it'll come back down.
Outlandish prediction by any means. Where it gets interesting, though, is his last comment about the Trump put. This thing clearly has the potential to completely blow the 250K prediction out of the water if Trump does indeed go forward with a U.S. strategic stockpile of Bitcoin. Well, Trump rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange this morning after being announced as Times Person of the Year, and he was asked directly about the strategic reserve by Jim Cramer.
Your embracing of crypto, very different from the previous administration. Strategic petroleum reserve-like for crypto?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else, and not just China, but others are embracing it, and we want to be the head. We're going to be ahead of AI. We're going to be way ahead of AI, and we've got to produce tremendous amounts of electricity. You know,
this camera guy fucking drunk? Is anybody else getting dizzy?
So even if the odds of him actually following thruh with it are slim, he's definitely not ruling it out, even suggesting he will be doing something great with crypto and underlining the importance of the US gaining an advantage over other countries. Definitely bullish. And states are already getting set to front-run a national reserve, as State Rep Giovanni Caprioli has officially filed for a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the state of Texas. Chairman Caprioli also chairs the Texas Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services Committee, giving this bill some serious momentum. Notably, the bill states that no taxpayer funds will be used to purchase the Bitcoin. Also of note is in my home country of Canada, Vancouver City Council has passed a motion to explore integrating Bitcoin into city finances. The mayor of Vancouver, Ken Sim, put forth the motion and seems to be 100% orange-pilled. Here's a short clip of him on Natalie Brunell's Coin Stories podcast.
Obviously, there's something going on here. And then when you learn more about Bitcoin, you realize, wait a sec, it's decentralized. No person, company, or country controls it. It really doesn't care what other people do. It can't be manipulated, and it's finite. It's like literally, I think it's the greatest invention ever in human history.
The Vancouver City Council meeting leading up to the vote was flooded with passionate Bitcoiners speaking to convince the council to vote in favor. Anil Patel, an incredible Bitcoin educator and resident of Vancouver, gave this amazing 3-minute presentation that I think must have resonated.
Good afternoon, Mayor Sim, Chair, and councillors. My name is Anil Patel. I am a resident of Vancouver, and I'm in favour of Motion 3. I'm here because Vancouverites cannot save in dollars due to currency debasement, a problem that extends to families, businesses, charities, and municipalities. When currency fails to preserve its value, people are forced to save in other scarce assets. Hence, the price of Canadian houses tracks the supply of Canadian dollars. Bitcoin represents the discovery of digital scarcity, a solution to a computer science problem more than 50 years in the making. On the left, you will see Bitcoin's predetermined supply schedule, and on the right, the price of one Bitcoin denominated in Canadian dollars. So respectfully, Bitcoin is achieving what no politician can. It's solving housing affordability to those who denominate prices in it. No revolution required. It's demonetizing real estate or draining the monetary premium that has nested in that asset class. In short, there is no preserving purchasing power without Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been the best performing asset class 11 of the past 14 years. It has regulatory clarity from the CRA, the BCSC, and is even a required module to undertake the CFA Level 1 exam. Every fiduciary has a responsibility to understand it. Now, the most common criticism levied against Bitcoin is its short-term volatility. I'd like to read a quote from Fidelity's Digital Assets Group. When evaluating Bitcoin's historical performance in a portfolio, it is most intellectually honest to use multiples of 4-year timeframes, end quote. That's what this chart depicts. It's Bitcoin's 4-year moving average in log scale. What you'll realize, it's not boom and busts. It's an adoption curve, a series of S-curves. So nation states are mining, holding, and buying Bitcoin. Pension funds and insurance giants are allocating to Bitcoin. Public and private enterprises are moving their treasuries onto a Bitcoin standard. And according to public financial disclosures, 2 members of City Council currently own Bitcoin. I'd like to end with a prediction, and that is those speaking against this motion will not be able to articulate any original criticisms that have not already been thoroughly debunked. As the saying goes, there are no well-informed Bitcoin critics. Hence, it is prudent for the City of Vancouver to consider Bitcoin as part of its ongoing Treasury strategy should a supportive provincial and federal government emerge. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Anil.
And this is happening all over the world, folks, as late last week, Russian State Duma Deputy Anton Katchev put forward a demand for the country to create a national strategic Bitcoin reserve. It seems all eyes are on Bitcoin leading up to the holiday season, so now is a great time to grab some as an early Christmas present to your future self. Visit swan.com or download the app.
All right. Well, shout out to Swan Bitcoin for that. All right, let's see what Altcoin Daily has to say. This is last but not least. BlackRock caught red-handed suppressing crypto market. Let's see what he's got to say over here.
You're embracing crypto, very different from the previous administration. Strategic Petroleum Reserve like for crypto?
Yeah, I think so.
BlackRock is suppressing the price of crypto markets. Smash the like button. Send this video to everyone you know. Wall Street is going all in on crypto and making you think the market is unstable. Isn't it weird that Bitcoin's price seems to be having a lot of trouble around this price point? Do you remember that Fundstrat's Tom Lee actually predicted that this would happen, that the price would be suppressed?
There's a lot of folks who don't want Bitcoin over 100,000, and some of it may be the exchanges themselves are concerned because there is a pretty low supply of Bitcoin available over the counter.
So exchanges are suppressing the price of Bitcoin. They
I bet Tom Lee's just a whale. And he's just doing it. He's just fucking with us.
Keep it under $100,000 as long as they can. Well, the biggest exchange in the US, Coinbase, is actually in bed with BlackRock, and BlackRock is in bed with Trump. See, Coinbase was worried for a long time about their ongoing SEC lawsuits. Well, now they owe BlackRock a favor because BlackRock helped get Trump elected. Now Trump is installing pro-crypto, pro-business regulators. So if Coinbase and others are now suppressing the price for BlackRock and Wall Street, that would make sense, because we're seeing Donald Trump and big whales buying crypto by the multi-millions. 55 million Ethereum, 1 million Aave, 1 million Link, and that's just the wallets we know about. We can see other big whale wallets buying even more Bitcoin, 1,850 Bitcoin worth 181 million. And guess what? Most people don't know this, but Larry Fink just put out a statement to his investors saying a 2% Bitcoin allocation makes sense. Okay, well, let's do the math. Based on BlackRock's assets under management, this accounts for an injection of $220 billion into Bitcoin.
Damn.
That is 4x more than is currently in their Bitcoin ETF IBIT. A further injection of $166 billion at a 118 bull market multiple would equate to an increased market cap of almost 20 trillion, or
that's crazy.
an eventual Bitcoin price of almost 1 million per coin. A key takeaway from me here is that an official starting 2% allocation recommendation from BlackRock is wildly bullish. And again, there are so many whales like Larry who we don't know about. So with the price at such a shaky point, Tom Lee just revealed what's really happening behind the scenes. He predicted it once. Can he predict it again? Here he gives his true thoughts on how he believes 2025 plays out. Smash that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more videos keeping you informed. Tom Lee says that crypto prices cannot be suppressed for long and are actually about to skyrocket. Trump is the secret to all of this. Listen.
You say that that is a substantial part of your outlook for the new year. The Trump put. Explain.
The Trump put is, on the simplest level, it is a White House that is going to measure its success by how the stock market performs. But it's also a president that's coming into a second term, but with a lot of previous experience. So this is a cabinet that has good private sector acceptance and I think very markets friendly. Overall, I think investors who might have been cautious for the last few years now want to be risk on next year.
All right. Everything is lining up if you know where to look. This is a clip that a lot of people missed. Donald Trump joined Wall Street today to ring the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. Guess what he was asked about? Guess what he chose to talk about? It's almost like letting everyone at the New York Stock Exchange know, hey guys, get ready for this.
You're embracing
motion sickness is a real thing, so if you can't handle it, look away.
Crypto, very different from the previous administration. Strategic Petroleum Reserve like for crypto?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else, and not just China, but others are embracing it, and we want to be the head.
So this all leads to Tom Lee's ultimate thesis. Bitcoin is going much higher than anybody really thinks. His company, Fundstrat, has done the math, and this is their price target for next year. He thinks this is realistic.
All right, now I'm going to have to pin you to a target again on Bitcoin because, I mean, you've been among the most optimistic and outspoken about it for years, to be quite honest. So here we are, above 100,000. What's a legit target for 2025 for Bitcoin?
We think it's going to follow a similar halving cycle that we've seen in the past that would imply something around 250,000 for Bitcoin in 2025. And on top of that, we have a Trump put because Bitcoin is potentially a strategic reserve asset for the U.S. government.
And don't forget Trump's next move. He's already been installing pro-crypto regulators.
Real quick, Mr. Dan R in the chat said Tom said Bitcoin would hit 100K by the end of the year, and he was right. He was absolutely right. He's usually right. He's usually on point for everything he says when it comes to predicting markets. So I don't know. 250 seems like a lot though for next year.
His next move is the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. This is going to surprise a lot of people. Michael Saylor, who's actually known the Trumps for 20 years, talks to the Trumps semi-regularly. He thinks it's very likely the U.S. starts selling their gold soon. Listen to this. This is incredibly interesting.
You said people should sell their gold to buy Bitcoin. That's what the act proposes. How should the government be thinking about this in your view?
Gold is a shiny, dead rock. Sell it all. If you want to elevate U.S.'s economic leadership in the world, there are two very simple strategies. Dump the gold and buy Bitcoin because you simultaneously demonetize the asset held by your enemies. Who owns the gold, right? You just sell it all and demonetize gold once and for all, put a stake in its heart, and buy Bitcoin, and you get 25% of the Bitcoin network for free. Free. But it's better, right? You could just print the money and buy Bitcoin and keep the gold. But it's so much more intelligent to demonetize your enemy's network and everybody else's network. You might as well drive gold from a $20 trillion asset to a $4 trillion asset, devalue the assets of gold held by every non-US entity, drive Bitcoin to the roof, and then have 25% of the Bitcoin network forever. And so that's a very straightforward thing. My second observation is, they ought to just create a normal regime to issue digital currency backed by U.S. treasuries. I mean, the U.S. ought to have a framework so Tether relocates to New York City. Right? That's what you want, right? And then you ought to basically have a free-for-all where J.P. Morgan or Goldman Sachs can issue their own stable coin. What's really going to happen here, my strategy would be, and I really think it's evil genius strategy, right? If it's like, it's so good, right, that our enemies would hate us, but our allies would complain too, and the U.S. would make $100 trillion in a heartbeat, right? Here's the strategy. You dump gold, demonetize the entire gold network. You buy Bitcoin. You buy 5 million or 6 million Bitcoin. You monetize the Bitcoin network. All the capital in the world sitting in Siberian real estate or Chinese natural gas or every other currency derivative that's held as a long-term store of value, Europeans, Africans, South Americans, Asians, they all just dump their crappy property and their crappy capital assets and they buy Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin goes to the moon. The U.S. is the big beneficiary. U.S. companies are the big beneficiary.
And of course,
see, like, I understand what he's saying about like dumping gold and like demonetizing it to a point, but gold is still the best conductor out there, right? So it's used in a lot of things. Like Lookout News said gold is used all over the place. To look at your cell phones, look at GPUs. Yeah, there's bits and traces of gold in like everything, right? It's just, it might be thin, but yeah, it's still we need it to be, like, again, one of the best conductors out there. But yeah, as like a reserve, I don't know.
All big ETF issuers know, and actually have been saying for a long time, that 2025 is going to be a much bigger and better year for Bitcoin ETF inflows. If you understand how ETFs get adopted, you know in 2025 we're going to be seeing the biggest buyers of Bitcoin ETFs ever. So much has happened.
Also, yeah, I agree. Gold isn't as scarce as Bitcoin, of course, right? And again, I don't even remember who said it, but you could go up to, you know, an asteroid and mine gold on the asteroid and bring it back down. Like, you can guarantee that you can never go up there and mine Bitcoin on an asteroid, right? So I get it for sure, absolutely. But like, I mean, why not have both? You know what I mean? That's just me.
Happening in crypto every single day. Hey, make sure you subscribe for daily videos just like this, keeping you informed. Comment grape if you've made it this far in the video.
Comment grape? Did you just say that? Did you say grape?
Far in the video. Daily videos just like this, keeping you informed. Comment grape if you've made it this far in the video.
Why?
See you tomorrow, my friends. I'm so excited.
I'm anticipating that by the time we get to the end of 2025, we're going to see total inflows of more than $150 billion. What is going to propel? That's a big...
This was like right after the ETF was like approved.
Big claim. That's a big number. What's going to propel that? It really isn't all that big when you do the simple arithmetic. Individual investment advisors, independents, those that are operating their own firms, collectively manage around $8 trillion in assets, and 3/4 of them in every industry survey done by DAC-FP as well as by Bitwise all show that 3/4 of advisors say that they're going to allocate to these ETFs and that their average allocation is going to be about 2.5% of assets. Do the arithmetic. $8 trillion times 77% times 2.5% is $150 billion worth of flows. And that's just independent advisors. It excludes the wirehouses, it excludes the regional broker-dealers, it excludes the institutional investors.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. Recap segment of things. Guys, appreciate you for hanging out with me. Let's see. Anybody else might have just joined? Bitcoin, 100,265 bucks. It's still crazy to say Bitcoin's over 100,000. It's crazy. And it's in the red. It's in the red, over 100K. Insane. All right, we got Ethereum at 39.24, XRP $2.36, Solana 225 bucks, get 88 at $1.10, BNB at $716. Sui is at $4.77, Litecoin 120 bucks, Kaspa 16 cents. We got Near at almost $7, $6.94 to be exact. AVAX is up to $52.12. ETC's at $34.22. Where's Algo right here? Algorand's been doing really well. It's at 44 cents right now. Is anybody holding Algorand? Let me know in the chat. Interesting. BitTensor over here, 578 bucks, looking pretty decent. Still down 5%, but it's all right. Render, $9.34. ETC, yeah, ETC's been doing really good. I hope it kills it. ETC's still down, so like there's still coins that like you can still get in on. Just my opinion. Crypto bubbles, virtual is the biggest winner over here, and everything else just kind of sideways. Flashbang, Fear and Greed Index looking like a 76 over here. Again, we're in extreme greed, but it's still low on that, so I wouldn't be too concerned there. Let's see, where's ETC? ETC, let's see. The all-time high was like what, 160 bucks or 140 bucks? 167. It's still 80% down, just about 79.6% down from its all-time high. I still think that ETC has a decent chance to scream this run. Again, 2017 bull run, right? 2021 bull run. It smashed its all-time high last time. When little Timmy and your grandmother start getting into Coinbase and buying coins, they're buying cheap ones. They ain't buying Ethereum or Bitcoin. I mean, they might buy some Bitcoin, but people want to get whole coins. When I first started, I remember seeing Ethereum Classic was like $4. I was like, why is this one so much cheaper than the other Ethereum? And Ethereum at that time was like $280 or something crazy, right? I bought a bunch of Ethereum Classic because it was easy. I wanted the whole coin, right? And I only bought a little bit of Ethereum. So I feel like that mentality is still going to come back when you don't really understand anything about crypto. That's just my opinion. And then the other one that I think is really going to have a chance, I don't even know where, oh, right here, right there, 38th Pro. This one, like, I'm not a huge fan of like crypto.com, but to be honest, like, they got that credit card that's got like the benefits and all that shit. It's at 18 cents right now. Its all-time high was almost $1. It's down 80%. If they start advertising on like Super Bowl Sunday and shit like that, like, see ya, like, this thing's gonna explode. That's just my opinion. I don't know, you guys do what you want, but like crypto.com, they had a shit ton of ads and a bunch of like fancy, you know, actors and shit. So I think, I don't know, this one probably has a decent chance, and it's still cheap. Like, you could put a couple $100 into it, make a decent amount of money if it does, like, you know, 5x. So I don't know, you guys do what you want. I have no affiliation with any of those coins. I do hold both of them, but do what you want. Other one, obviously Caspa. I'm super bullish on, holding a bunch of Caspa. It's been doing good. It's like great layer 1 technology. It's made to be a payment system. It's kind of like Bitcoin back in the day, but better. That's just my opinion. You guys think what you want about it. Let's see, scrolling through, I don't know, is there any other coins that you guys are like really bullish on that we don't like talk about? Somebody said Sui. Where is Sui? I don't even know where it is on the list. Right here, 17th Sui, $13 billion market cap, almost 14. Nice. What's the all-time high? All-time high, it was a day ago. It's at its all-time high now. What the fuck? Wait, what? Oh, it just came out. It just came out last year, May of last year ish. Interesting. So it's never seen a bull run. That's a good sign. It's never seen a bull run. That's kind of neat. My kid is climbing on my chair. Ondo. I'm also into Jasmy. Jasmy, I sold out of mine a while ago. Jasmy, I don't even know where it is. I'm just gonna type it in. You can get this on Coinbase. Jasmy is at 4 cents. I sold out at 4 cents. I bought it at like 2. Oh my god, almost 4 years ago, 2021. It went up to $4.79. It's 99% down. What?
Stop the cap.
For real? Is this serious? Oh yeah, but see, like, this chart, like, no, it looks like ass, bro. That's so bad. That's like, it's fighting for a heartbeat. I can't get into coins like this. I don't know. I don't know. I can't hold these long term. These ones scare me because it's like, I don't know. But at the same time, like, that was the bull run. So you got to think about that too, right? Like, that was the bull run. That it just came out in the bull run and it sold off. So it definitely could have a chance. It definitely could. And it's cheap. It's at 4 cents. Like, dude, like, put $100 in it. Be happy if you 10x. Just get out of it. You know what I mean? Whatever. And a 10x is what, 40 cents? Like, it's not even a lot. That's not even a lot. What's the market cap? 2 billion. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, 10 billion. Is that out of the question? I don't even know what the project does, to be honest. But I mean, if it was 10 billion, it would be, or it'd be on the rank. It would be up here with Bitcoin Cash, right? Or Uniswap or Pepe. I don't know. I don't know. Litecoin's another one. I think it's gonna do an easy, I don't know, 3x or so, right? But it's $410 all-time high, 70% down still. This is still a good buy, in my opinion. Charts consistently going up, showing confidence, right? 2017 bull run, 21 bull run, and then see ya. Let's see. So real quick, December, the bull run of 2017, right? Say December 2016. This it started, the actual bull run for Litecoin didn't really start taking off till like April 2017, March 2017. That's when it really kicked off, right? And then December, same thing here. What do we got? 2020 September. I don't know, man. Yeah, we could just like see, like, that's, you got to look at the old previous charts, right? It doesn't mean it's going to happen exactly like it did, but like look at the months. Like it started in September, right? Or whatever, it actually started in like March, but September 2017 all the way up through December 2017 exploded. Same thing here. It's like it's really around like September it started like lifting off, and then same thing right here. We're in September, right? It started to climb. I don't know, we're gonna have to see. It looks really good. Looks really good. Yeah, he doesn't want to go to school today. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go. He just wants to sit with dad all day. Yeah, so that's that. I don't know. I mean, these are the coins that I'm into. You guys do what you want. Obviously, I'm still into Solana. I don't have a lot of it, but I have a decent amount. Shout out to Dan R, my man. Appreciate you. XRP, I sold out of that a lot early. I shouldn't have sold out of it, but at the same time, I put it into other stuff like Cardano and Caspa, so I made it out fine. Ethereum, I still hold Ethereum. Obviously, I hold Bitcoin. Dogecoin, I hold. Again, Cardano, I think is going to do well. Cardano is still one of those coins that's going to do decently well, I think. 64% down still. I was telling you guys to buy this at under 80% down, and $3.09, right? This is all-time high. 2017 bull run, 2018 bull run. I bet. I mean, 2018, 2021 bull run, and then yeah. Oh, didn't mean to do that. 2025 is going to be absolutely insane, in my opinion, because you can see the confidence in the chart, like the baseline right down here, and then right here, it's higher. So it's a confident chart overall. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get this kid dressed. Still on his PJs. Look, you're up there. Just noticed himself. All right, guys, listen, appreciate y'all for hanging out with me on the daily grind. Today is Friday, so I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Hopefully you guys have a safe and happy one, and yeah, I'll catch you guys. I might catch you guys tomorrow, I'm not sure, on Misfit Mining Saturday Night Live. If not, it'll be on one of the other guys' channels, but we'll figure it out. You guys have a good day, and peace out.
No more, I'm gonna add crypto to my portfolio. I wanna hold until I can't no more.
Have a happy and safe Friday. Catch you guys next week or tomorrow. Peace, peace. Hit that like on the way out.